Today I'm going to restore the teak wood on my patio lanai furniture. I'll be using this refurbishing kit from Rooms to Go, and you can't buy this, but they do give it to you when you buy teak wood furniture. Now the tabletop doesn't look too bad, but it does have some rings, and I'm going to see if it can remove that. Right here I have a little bit of a ring, and the edge of the table just shows a little bit of watermarking. Now the chairs are showing various degrees of wear, which is strange because they really don't get outside, but you can just see the difference between these two. This one is really discolored and worn out. So we are going to give it a shot. Although the directions don't say so, I'm going to very lightly hit this with a relatively fine sandpaper. I'm using 120 because that's all I have. I think a 180 or 220 would even be better, but I think this will be okay. I'm just going to lightly do it just to knock down any grain, just so it's not raised. That's all I'm worried about. Not going to do it hard at all. And this is even taking off a little of that discoloration, so this was probably the right thing to do, particularly on this one. Feels real smooth now. These two I've already done over here, so I think they're ready to go. Lightly sanding this tabletop pretty much took off those rings and the watermark, so I think this is going to be good. Just put the refinisher on it. Now it says here, if you want to maintain a golden brown, which is what I want, all I need is a teak protector. And then it says if it's weathered, I need the shield. Mine is not weathered. And if I want to clean it, I need the cleaner. Now it's kind of strange because according to this, all I need is the teak protector. But when I read the instructions, it says the first step in the teak protector is to use the teak cleaner. So I'm just going to go through all the steps. I'm going to start with the cleaner, and then we'll go to the protector, and then we'll see if we need the shield. I don't know if the shield would keep it from getting to this condition in the first place, but let's get started. So the kit comes with each of these 3 bottles: the protector, the shield, and the cleaner. It comes with this, well, it's kind of like a Scotch-Brite pad, and then this cloth. Now, since my furniture is pretty small, I'm going to take this cloth and I'm going to first cut it in half, and then I'll cut it in 3 pieces because I should only need a tiny little piece of this cloth. So I have 1 piece for each of the 3 different chemicals. Step 1 is to moisten the wood with water. I better work fast because this is going to dry really fast out here in this Florida sunshine. Step 2 is to apply the cleaner and let it set for 3 minutes. I would advise not doing this in direct sunlight, so I move this into the shade. Step 3 is to scrub using the provided pad along the grain of the wood. You have to remember, this is just the cleaner. This is not supposed to be giving it any color. That's the next step. Then it says rinse well with water, so I'm going to get a second clean bucket of water and a brand new cloth in order to do this final step. And although it doesn't specify, I'm using some microfiber cloths in order to do the wetting and the cleanup. It does say to clean well with water. Boy, that color sure comes out nice when it's wet, doesn't it? I hope that's what the protector does. And it does look like some of that residue is coming off in this cloth. And the water is getting pretty dirty, so I hope that's an indicator that my furniture is getting cleaned. And although it doesn't say it, I think the next step is to go inside and watch an episode of Gilligan's Island while you wait for this to dry. Telephone. Well, the furniture is dry, so it's time for the next step, the teak protector. Now, it really emphasizes to shake this well for at least a minute and to apply it in a dust-free area. Well, we're outside in my yard, so that's not going to happen, but I'll make sure I dust it off before I apply this. And then you're supposed to, let me see if I have the label. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then you're supposed to let this dry a half hour before you put on additional coats. So I'm going to make sure that it's clean, dry, all that's taken care of, dust free. I'm going to shake this really well and then apply it. It's pretty straightforward. Sorry about my bad camera there. This looks pretty good. I'm getting some of it on the edge there. I got to make sure I get that cleaned up. I'm going to get a wet cloth real quick. Now this is a much lighter color. This one arm, this one chair. So I'm probably going to have to do additional coats on this one. That's kind of weird how much lighter that is. And again, I got a little bit there. I'm going to make sure that I get that cleaned up right away. I'm having a little trouble applying this and photographing at the same time, so I'll just show you before and after. Here's before, and here's the after. I think there's quite a difference. We'll see what happens when it dries. I'm a little concerned right here. Maybe I can wipe that off. I imagine it'll dry lighter, but I'm feeling really good about it. It looks so much better. It seemed to have removed those watermarks. The ring, there are a couple of rings on there from setting down a wet glass or cup, and it looks like that's all gone and clean. So if this dries the way that it looks right now, I'm going to be pleased as punch. The sun's starting to set, and what a productive afternoon. I am super happy with the way this turned out. Let me show you the tabletop. So you can see it's all very even. All of that water staining is completely gone. You can no longer see where those rings were from the cup. And that tabletop looks just beautiful. Same with the arms. They look just great. Look at that. I think that's better than when I bought them. Now there is one more step. That's the teak shield. I think I'm going to pass on this since I keep these in my lanai. They're really not exposed to the harsh conditions. However, to put this on, it's pretty much the same as the last step, except you let it dry for 4 hours. And it's supposed to keep it looking great. So there you go. I give it a thumbs up. As I said, this kit did come free when I bought my product from Rooms to Go. So if you're wondering how it works, I would really encourage you, if you have any wood like this and it's starting to look worn, it's starting to look weathered, try to restore it. It's so easy and it doesn't take that much time. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you here next time on the Average Me channel.